Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. I am excited to show you some new updates to Cricut Design Space. They have moved a few things around. You can still do everything that you could do before, but they've kind of made it a little more streamlined and a little bit easier. It's going to take just a little bit of getting used to, but it's really nothing big, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to walk you through it. So for an example, we're just going to start with a shape. Now, when you add a shape, everything looks the same over here. We've got our layers menu and we've got our shape here on the canvas. But if you notice, we no longer have the scissors. It now says cut. And if you click on this, you no longer get that fly out menu right here that says cut, score, draw. That is gone. But let's move our attention over here and look what we have up here now. This is the new update to Cricut Design Space. So what is LineType? Well, LineType is cut, draw, score. That is the flyout menu that used to be over here. It's now up here. So let's just explore this menu a little bit first. So this is the typical cut line. This is when you used to see the scissors. This is the same exact thing. This is the scissors, only that says the word cut instead of the word scissors. If you want to change the color, you can do that right here. If you're just going to cut out a square and you want to remind yourself that you want to put blue vinyl on the mat, you can change it right here. This is a menu that drops down. It might be like this. If so, you can just click that little arrow and you've got your color picker here, and you can also put the color code in here if you know what that is. So this takes the place of that little dot that used to be here that the flyout menu came out, and then you could change the color. That is what this button does and what this button does. Now let's see if we change this to draw. Now if we change this to draw, you can see we've got a blue line and it says draw. We don't have any options right here, but we can click here and choose our various different colors of pens so that Cricut Design Space will be sure and remind us which color of pen we need to put in at what time. So let's just say we wanted to draw with an orange pen. We can very easily do that, and you can see now we have a draw line over here in the layers panel. Instead of seeing the little pencil, it now says the word draw, and you see our orange square. So again, that flyout menu is gone. It's moved up here. Let's just change it to score just to show you. Now you can see it's changed that rectangle to a dotted line, which indicates it's going to be a score line. And you can see we don't have any options here because there are no attributes for a score line type, meaning you can't score with a different color. It's always going to make the score line of this color. So let's change this rectangle back to a cut line by clicking on LineType and cut. And you can see we've got our fill here. Let's just make it a different color for the sake of the video. It's a little nicer to look at. So what is this menu? This says no fill. If we click the drop down arrow, you can see we can change this to a printable image by clicking on print. So this is where, again, you used to see the flyout menu that said you could choose print and then you could go into your patterns. This has now been moved up to here under fill. And you can see over here in the layers panel, we now have a cut and print square, meaning it's going to cut around the edges and it's going to print this blue line or blue box. So that's what the fill menu is. Now, what if you wanted to make a pink box? Well, you would just click on this little color box right beside the word print, and you could change it to pink. However, if you wanted to put a pattern in this, where has patterns gone? Well, that's right here. Click on the drop down arrow right by color, choose a pattern, and now you're going to see your patterns menu. So you could filter it right here. And once you pick a pattern, let's just pick this first pattern. We can edit the pattern just like we used to, only you click it right here. So you click edit pattern, and now you can adjust that scale of the pattern up or down. And horizontally, vertically, we can rotate it, we can flip it horizontal or vertically. So that's where the patterns menu has moved. Now I will add all of this information into a new Design Space for Beginners video, but I did want to hop on here and show you these updates. And again, if you're confused a little bit about where things are, just look and see what happens. You'll see different options appear when they are available to you. So again, we'll run through this one more time. We're going to click shape. Let's add a star this time just to make it a little bit different. We can change the color of our star just like we always could, only it's over here under LineType, and next to that is our color swatch. So we've changed it to a blue star, meaning we're going to put blue vinyl or blue cardstock on our mat or whatever the case may be. If we wanted to change this to a draw, we could just click LineType and click draw. We can change the color of the pen that we're going to use. We can change the type of pen we're going to use. That's new. Those are all filtered out here by separate pens. And you're going to see over here on the layers panel, it's always going to tell you what you're doing. So here's our star and it is draw. Here is our previous mock-up that we were doing, and it was a cut and print. Now if we change this star to score, it's going to change it to a dashed line. And if we go back to cut, we can now change this to a printable image because we're going to print it and then cut it. So we want this to be on cut, and then we're going to print it. So now we're going to print a gray star. If we wanted to print a blue star, we could click on the blue. And that's a printable and a cuttable image right here. You can see that in the layers panel. If you want to make it a pattern, we could click back on the color menu, click the drop down, click pattern. We can filter our patterns, or we can just pick one. Let's pick this one. Perfect. And we can edit the pattern by clicking edit. And we can change the rotation and we can flip it. So that, again, that is the new features in Cricut Design Space. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And again, I will add this to a Cricut for Beginners video. I will be redoing it to update it with these new features in Design Space. And we're really excited about this. This could mean that there are other things coming. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming they're moving these things around so that we have options for the future. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Never stop making. Bye-bye.